The stage is all set for vice presidential election in India, with both the NDA and opposition parties organizing meetings and even mock drills, Veera, today to prepare their MPs for the voting process that will be held tomorrow. Now, this rehearsal aimed to ensure clarity and coordination amongst members of both the India bloc and NDA, especially as tensions rise over procedural concerns and political messaging, because here the numbers matter, but also the margin of victory matters, or margin of loss. Meanwhile, regional parties like BJD and BRS have also chosen to abstain, citing unresolved issues such as fertilizer shortages and farmer distress, adding another layer of complexity to this electoral landscape. Veera, before I bring in my guest, let me ask you, NDA CP Radhakrishnan, a seasoned BJP leader and also the governor of Maharashtra, against retired Supreme Court Judge P. Sudarshan Reddy, two South Indians. Why is this contest important, and what do the NDA and what is the opposition alliance, what do they want to do, what do they want to project out of this contest?
It's all about the optics of numbers, Vasudha. As you rightly pointed out, victory seems to be a foregone conclusion, but it's the question of numbers. How big a victory? I think from the NDA's point of view, it's a categorical assertion. Remember, after the 2024 elections and falling short of a majority, from the BJP and the NDA's point of view, it's to categorically turn around and say that, look, we've got a stronghold in terms of numbers in Parliament. And as you said, abstentions, not that it matters much, but the fact that they put a judge from Hyderabad, a retired Supreme Court judge from Hyderabad on the contest was twofold for the opposition, Vasudha. One is to send out a message of their adherence to Constitution, a Sangh versus Samvidhan kind of debate. And the other was to try and, let's say, test the TDP, the YSRCP and the BRS. Unfortunately, even the BRS has chosen to abstain, as you just point out. So it'll be interesting to watch out. Final numbers will decide the optics of this battle eventually, though the victory is a foregone conclusion.
Yes, 422 is what the NDA has. They need about 394, so it looks like an easy contest. But Veera, let me also ask you this, with a Jagdeep Dhankar question, do you also feel that the NDA wants to ensure that everything goes right? Especially because this is an important post. The Vice President is also the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha.
That's right. And remember, CP Radhakrishnan ticks multiple boxes for the NDA. For Tamil Nadu, of course, he comes from the OBC caste, which is strong in the Western Belt. He's a face from the Coimbatore region, which is where the BJP had tried to build. Remember, that's the same OBC caste that Annamalai, the former president of the BJP, was from. It's the caste that Edappadi Palanichami represents. So that's the electoral, perhaps, tick box as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. But he's someone who's known to be non-confrontational, has friends across the aisle. He even met MK Stalin earlier when Stalin was in hospital. So many ticks there in favor of CP Radhakrishnan, not someone who's been confrontational, a stern loyalist of the organization and the party.
And also tell us a little bit about Sudarshan Reddy, because he also seems to be somebody who has had an accomplished career when it comes to his judgments, and the opposition seems completely united in his nomination.
That's right. Justice Reddy, of course, as you would know, gave the landmark Salva Judam judgment. He was also Lokayukta in Goa. He's had confrontations with the Congress when he was Lokayukta in Goa. Questions raised, and I think the message sent out by the Congress categorically is, again, as far as Justice Reddy is concerned, ticks several of the boxes. A non-political candidate against an ideological candidate fielded by the BJP. Two is also the emphasis on the Constitution. Fielding a retired Supreme Court judge with an impeccable record is seen as an endorsement of the campaign to say that the Constitution is under threat. So that ticks the political box. And of course, fielding a Telugu candidate was perhaps a teaser to the TDP, YSRCP, just as fielding a Tamil candidate was a teaser to the DMK, which is a crucial Congress ally.
That's right. So Sangh versus Samvidhan to play out tomorrow. Thank you, Veera, for joining us. Also stay with us. We also have other guests, Professor Sandeep Shastri joining us now, political analyst, and Uma Sudhir of the NDTV. But before, let's take a look at some reactions.
Why BRS has decided not to take part in the vice presidential elections?
Well, BRS party, the leadership, for the last 1 month, we've been highlighting the issue of farmers. And our leader has repeatedly said that there is a severe farmers' fertilizer crisis in Telangana, and we're in the midst of a campaign, an important election like the vice president, and there the farmers are facing these hardships. Please rescue We made representations, we spoke in Parliament, we spoke in the Assembly, we tried to sensitize both the governments, Delhi and Hyderabad. Nothing worked. So we were left with no other option but to, abstain. Abstaining probably may not matter much in terms of number. But the question is, we abstaining for this specific reason, we are confident could probably bring in some relief to the farmers.
Discussions by our Honorable Party President Shri Naveen Patnaik ji with the party's senior leaders, Political Affairs Committee and MPs, the Biju Janata Dal has decided to abstain from the vice presidential elections tomorrow. The BJD remains equidistant from both NDA and India alliances. We are focused on the development and welfare of Odisha and 4.5 crore people of Odisha.
How important is this vice presidential election for the DMK, particularly when NDA has its numbers?
No, it is very important to have this election because this is a part of the democratic process, and it doesn't mean that we have to let it go unchallenged, whoever the candidate from NDA is. Let us wait for the votes to be counted. We cannot do SIR in this, no? So obviously let's wait for the votes to be counted.
Is it a delicate situation for the DMK that you are forced to oppose a candidate from Tamil Nadu, in this case Mr. Radhakrishnan?
No, it is not a delicate situation at all because the Chief Minister has been very clear that this is an ideological fight. It is not about any individual. It is an ideological fight, and it's a fight for democracy. So we are not confused, or we have no regrets about fielding a candidate from the opposition.
Uma Sudhir joins us now. Uma Sudhir, help us understand the reason behind BRS deciding to abstain from this election.
The South versus South dynamic, of course, playing out, and if the BJP thought they're putting the DMK in a quandary by bringing in Tamil pride and a son of the soil from Tamil Nadu angle, of course, the India bloc brought in the Telugu Bidda and someone from Telangana itself, and therefore BRS, which was formed as Telangana Rashtra Samiti and a party which is supposed to articulate the Telangana's own wishes, they were put in a quandary for sure, but it was really a Hobson's choice for the BRS because they cannot vote along with the India bloc, the Congress, which is their main political enemy in Telangana. And the second part of it is that the BJP, in a sense, made them feel quite small, I should say, by saying that we don't really need your votes. Nobody wooed the BRS to say, please come and vote for us. And therefore, they have put across, one, the issue of, the urea or the, cause of farmers, so to speak. And they're also talking about, second, that the BJP didn't ask us and that the Congress has been going after us and targeting our leaders, and therefore we do not want to go with either party. What this really shows is that all these parties, whether they matter or not, no one is in any doubt about who's going to emerge the winner. The only thing here is that all these political parties, whether it's a YSRCP in Andhra Pradesh or a BRS in Telangana, their political stance, their future political strategies or their space that they occupy is becoming clear, because Andhra Pradesh is going to be one of those unique states where you have, of course, the NDA partners, both the Telugu Desam and Janasena, voting for CP Radhakrishnan. And yes, the YSRCP also with its 11 MPs is going to be voting for the NDA candidate, showing very clearly that it's not regional sentiment that's determining this. In the case of YSRCP, it is a friendship with the center or having to keep that kind of an equation with the center. Just like even in Tamil Nadu, we are saying it's not regional sentiment that is stopping it, but it is the alliance kind of a stand and the ideological kind of a position of the DMK that's determining that they are going with Justice Reddy.
So, interesting point. Professor Shastri, do you think the opposition has been able to achieve the objective with which it really fielded somebody like Sudarshan Reddy?
Vasudha, as we have been debating, it's, I think, multiple symbolisms that you see in this vice presidential election, because the result in important ways is a foregone conclusion. Symbolism number one, as you have been stressing, the ideological fight. They say it's a fight between two different narratives. That point has been made for quite some time now. Secondly, the abstentions also represent an element of symbolism, where parties prefer not to be seen as part of the ruling coalition or the opposition coalition. They want to ensure that they have an opportunity to take a stand on issues in the days ahead. Thirdly, I think what we will all be looking for is what are the actual numbers, the symbolism that is associated with the image of the two alliances. That also will be at play tomorrow. And finally, of course, the symbolism associated with the choice of the candidates by the two alliances, both hailing from the southern part of India, both of them representing very different perspectives. The NDA candidate being somebody part of politics, being a governor, occupied important positions, whereas the opposition candidate being a judge, former judge, not being associated with any political party. So I think all these symbolisms are intermeshed in tomorrow's vice presidential election. And in that sense, it is a symbolic fight from the part of the opposition. The ruling alliance would like to demonstrate their numbers. And I think at the end of the day, it is these four symbolisms which will play out in the election.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Shastri. The numbers will play out tomorrow.